There is a very specific, undeniable day in your life when the invisible veil finally drops. You wake up, you go about your normal morning routine, you pour your coffee, you look out the window, but suddenly the entire world feels fundamentally off. It is not a dramatic cinematic moment. It is a quiet, profound, and deeply unsettling realization that you no longer fit into the reality you built. Strange things begin to happen around you. Conversations with old friends, people you have known for decades, suddenly feel incredibly hollow and exhausting. Time seems to stretch, speed up, and slow down in bizarre ways. You experience highly specific, impossible synchronicities, and you quietly wonder to yourself, am I losing my mind? Am I going crazy? Am I slipping into some kind of late-stage existential crisis? I am looking you directly in the eye today to tell you with absolute, unshakable certainty that you are not going crazy. You are not losing your mind. You are experiencing the profound biological and quantum symptoms of a massive timeline shift. Today, we are going to explore the incredibly strange things that happen the exact day you finally wake up, and why your old reality is literally glitching out to make room for your new sovereignty. If you are navigating this confusing fog, if you feel like the world is suddenly speaking a language you no longer understand, and if you want to master the actual mechanics of this transition rather than just hoping for the best, I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. We do not deal in mystical illusions here. We research, we test, and we master the neurological and energetic laws of reality. Join our sanctuary and let us decode exactly what is happening to your life. In my 75 years, I have not just observed human behavior, I have relentlessly researched the mechanics of the mind, the biology of aging, and the undeniable physics of human consciousness. What I have discovered is that a spiritual awakening is not a gentle, poetic awakening in a meadow. It is a violent biological recalibration of your entire nervous system. You have spent your entire life operating on a specific energetic frequency, mostly dictated by survival, fear, societal expectations, and the heavy accumulation of past traumas. Your brain, your cells, and your electromagnetic field were tuned to the frequency of struggle. But when you begin to shed that fear, when you stop accepting the illusion that you must suffer to be worthy, your internal frequency spikes, and this is when the reality glitches begin. The physical world around you is dense and slow to catch up to your new energetic signature. So, the strange things you are experiencing right now are simply the friction between the heavy, outdated reality you are leaving behind and the highly coherent, powerful reality you are stepping into. The first strange phenomenon you will notice, and usually the most painful one, is what I call the biological allergy to inauthenticity. You will sit down at a dinner table with family members or friends that you have socialized with for years. They will begin to gossip, complain about the economy, tear down other people, or engage in their usual dramatic narratives. But instead of joining in, or simply tolerating it as you always have, your physical body will actively reject the environment. You will literally feel a sensation of nausea in your stomach. You will feel a tightening in your chest, a sudden crushing exhaustion, or a sharp headache. This is not you being judgmental or developing a sudden superiority complex. This is pure physics. The electromagnetic field of your heart has become highly coherent, meaning it is vibrating in a state of peace and order. The people gossiping and complaining are vibrating in a state of chaos and fear. When a coherent field comes into contact with a highly chaotic field, the friction is physically painful. Your nervous system is now so finely tuned that it interprets inauthentic, toxic, or fear-based conversations as a biological threat. Your body is forcefully telling you to leave the room. You will find yourself suddenly unable to tolerate small talk. You will crave deep, silent, meaningful connections, or you will prefer to be entirely alone. This sudden isolation is not a punishment, it is a quarantine. Your energy is protecting itself while it upgrades. Do not force yourself to sit at tables where the food is toxic to your soul, just because you have a long history with the people serving it. The second glitch you will experience is a massive acceleration in quantum synchronicities. The numbers 111, 777, or 333 will begin to haunt you. You will look at the clock at the exact same time every day. You will think of an obscure song from 40 years ago, and it will immediately play on the radio. You will have a fleeting thought about an old acquaintance, and they will call you 5 minutes later. The unawakened mind dismisses this as mere coincidence. But you and I know that coincidence is just a word used by people who do not understand the math of the universe. What is actually happening is that your reticular activating system, the biological filter in your brainstem, has finally cleared out the static noise of fear. Because you are no longer obsessing over survival, your brain is now capable of consciously interacting with the quantum field. The delay between your thoughts and physical manifestation begins to vanish. The universe is a mirror, and when your internal waters become completely still, the reflection becomes razor sharp. These strange numerical patterns and impossible coincidences are the universe's way of pinging your system. It is a feedback loop, confirming that you are no longer entirely bound by the linear laws of time and space. You are learning to steer your reality. When these things happen, do not brush them off. Acknowledge them. Say out loud, "I see the connection, and I claim this timeline." The third incredibly strange thing that happens on the day you wake up involves a profound and often confusing physical recalibration of your biological vessel. Your body is an electrical conduit, and right now it is being asked to carry a significantly higher voltage of consciousness. Because of this, your biology will start to behave in ways that seem entirely unpredictable. You may experience the infamous 3 in the morning wake-up calls. Night after night, you will snap awake in the middle of the night, not with anxiety, but with a strange, high-alert clarity. This happens because the veil between the conscious and subconscious mind is thinnest at this hour, and your brain is furiously rewiring itself without the interference of your daytime analytical thoughts. But it goes beyond sleep. You will wake up one day and find that you have an absolute sudden aversion to foods you used to love. The heavy processed meals, the excess sugar, the alcohol that you used to consume to numb your stress will suddenly taste like ash. Your stomach will reject them. Why? Because your body is furiously attempting to detoxify the deeply embedded cortisol from decades of living in the fight or flight state. Heavy, toxic food requires massive amounts of energy to digest, and your body needs that exact energy right now to rebuild your nervous system. Your biology is demanding lighter, cleaner, more conductive fuel to support the new frequency you are holding. When your sleep patterns shatter and your diet completely changes overnight, do not immediately assume you are sick. You are not breaking down. You are clearing out the heavy debris. Listen to the physical vessel. Rest when it demands rest. Fast when it demands emptiness. And treat your body with the profound respect of a researcher observing a magnificent transformation. The fourth strange occurrence is perhaps the most disorienting of them all. I call it the great void of ambition. You will look at your goals, your financial spreadsheets, your plans for the future, the things you fought so viciously to achieve, and you will feel a profound, sweeping apathy. The drive that kept you hustling for the last 40 years will simply evaporate. Many people panic at this stage. They think they have lost their edge, or that aging has finally defeated their spirit. They try to artificially pump themselves up with motivational videos or forced discipline. Do not do this. You have not lost your drive. You have lost your trauma. You must understand that 90% of your previous ambition was fueled by a deep, subconscious terror of not being enough, of running out of money, or of being invisible to society. Your ambition was a trauma response disguised as hard work. Now that you are waking up, now that you realize your inherent worth is not tied to your productivity, the trauma engine has shut down. Your brain refuses to release dopamine for the old, fear-based goals. You are sitting in the void between the old motivation of fear and the new motivation of deep, magnetic inspiration. This void feels strange, empty, and terrifyingly quiet. But it is in this exact quiet that your true sovereign power is forged. When you wake up and these strange things begin to happen, you must follow a very strict protocol of observation and non-resistance. The greatest mistake people make when their reality begins to glitch is that they panic and try to glue the old breaking reality back together. They apologize to the friends they no longer resonate with. They force themselves to eat the old food. They desperately try to care about the hollow ambitions just to feel normal again. You cannot put a butterfly back into the chrysalis. The old reality is breaking because it was too small to hold the magnitude of who you are becoming right now. The destruction is the proof of your expansion. You must adopt the posture of a calm, untouchable observer. When a relationship falls away, you do not mourn it as a loss. You recognize it as an energetic expiration date, and you let it go with grace. When your body wakes you up in the dark, you do not toss and turn in frustration. You sit up, you breathe, and you allow the internal rewiring to happen in the silence. When you see the numbers and the synchronicities, you do not dismiss them. You nod at the universe, acknowledging the communication. You are no longer the victim of a random, chaotic world. You are the conscious operator of a biological and quantum machine. You are testing the limits of your own consciousness, hacking your way out of the matrix of fear that keeps humanity sick, tired, and compliant. Do not be afraid of the strangeness. The strangeness is the absolute confirmation that the programming is failing and you are finally breaking free. The world is going to look at you and think you have changed too much. They will say you are too quiet, too distant, too particular about your energy. Let them talk. They are studying the shadows on the wall of the cave, while you have finally walked out into the blinding, magnificent sunlight. I want you to anchor this profound understanding into your physical reality right now. I want you to go to the comments below this video and type these exact words. I do not fear the glitches. I command my new reality. When you type that, you are taking an invisible realization and turning it into a physical action. You are sending a clear, undeniable instruction to your reticular activating system that you are no longer terrified of the transition. You are in control. Embrace the strangeness. Protect your highly valuable energy. Command the timeline you wish to step into, and above all else, be well.